These two don't need much of an introduction, but I'm gonna give it to them anyways. Y'all, we have been blessed by action figure gods and the great gods and goddesses of action figures, y'all. Finally got a new version of A New Hope. Not only Chewbacca, but also Han Solo, man. And I gotta say, just looking at them out of the box, I've watched Lance Peter Luke's reviews. I've seen a couple other people amongst the community and who have gotten them early, like from Canada, CMD store, etc., etc. These things look absolutely phenomenal, man. I am blown away by this Harrison Ford likeness. This is by far the best likeness in the line, and this Chewie is just absolutely awesome. Let alone the figure itself, but the character was just sorely needed for an update, and I am just like, I'm beyond thrilled to be reviewing these for y'all, and also to be getting them on my shelf and kind of like, you know, moving around and kind of shuffling around some of my older figures and stuff like that. Maybe even put some away in storage or a bin or something like that. But y'all, I cannot express to you how freaking stoked I am to see these in front of me. So we have number 10 and 11 and then New Hope line. I love seeing this sub line right here. I love seeing A New Hope and the OT getting more love, man. And I just want to see it continue as well. Getting onto the side here, we have some beautiful, beautiful mural art of Chewie and Han here. Let me go ahead and just put it together. That looks absolutely freaking awesome, man. Gorgeous, gorgeous packaging. Love that so very much. Getting a look at the back here. I'll give you a quick look at the legalese and such of each. If you want to pause that, here's Han right here. Well, here, let me do it like this. So here's Chewie. I'm going to pause that and read it. Look up stuff, and then here is Han. So you can, all the legalese and all that good stuff, barcode. So just look at that. Dude, look at that, man. That's some awesome, awesome mural art right here, man. This is so freaking cool. Look at that, dude. Is that rad or what? So, y'all, I am so excited to get these things open. We've all waited long enough. Let's check these out. This is a new way that we've never seen Chewie's Bowcaster package, so I like that they included both of these pieces separately. Here, I was just taking them out of the box, but I really like how they've done this, man. Kind of similar to the tray that they did for Sebulba as well. Starting off with the accessories as always, here is Han's DLT-19. Cast in a black plastic, looks pretty good. I'm not sure if this is a new sculpt or if this is like reuse of another DL44 that we've gotten with Han, or if this is a new one, but either way it looks great. I like the notch that they have right in here. You can see this little cutout right here. Plugs right into this little nook right here. It's notched out perfectly. And then you just put those together just like so. And then feel it plug in flush, and then boom, you have Chewie's Bowcaster right here. Really freaking rad, man. Chewie's Bowcaster has always been one of the coolest and most badass weapons and a favorite of mine in all of Star Wars. Got a black plastic. The strap is very nice. It's a very like malleable, soft plastic. But sculpt looks really good. Just cast in a black plastic. Really nice. We're just going to jump straight into it, y'all. I just straight up took them out of the box, and they pretty much basically stood just about up. I had to adjust Chewie a little bit, but yeah, here they are, man. They look freaking amazing. It is so cool to have new versions of Star Wars 77, A New Hope, of versions of these characters. So with that being said, I guess, I don't know, man. I'm pretty excited. Let's look at Chewie first, because I'm pretty freaking stoked to see a new Chewbacca, man. You can see already here we have these deep cuts here in the elbows, also back here. Look at that, dude. The cut for the hinge goes all the way down, like a third of the way down past his calf. And the sculpt of the hair just looks phenomenal. His bandolier is very cleanly painted. I like the shade of brown and dark brown that they use for the gradients from the dark brown, light brown, dark brown. It just kind of like goes to that pattern all the way down. So I'll tell you what, just first off, we'll check out this brand new sculpt, man. And this thing looks phenomenal, man. Got Peter Mayhew's blue eyes back in there. The lips look so well done, man. I am so impressed with this. The lips and the teeth look immaculate, man. And the eyes are so precisely done. Sculpt of the hair looks terrific. The bandolier, the silver and the brown is applied very nicely. Very cleanly. I do believe these are ball jointed wrists on here, which is pretty freaking sweet, man. Absolutely love that. Or is it a hinge? Or is it ball jointed wrist? Yeah, it's ball jointed wrist. That's pretty freaking sweet, dude. We'll talk about articulation in a minute. But, man, this is a character and a figure that was sorely needing an update, man, and we finally freaking got him, dude, and he looks absolutely fantastic. This is so freaking rad. So there is Chewie, and then we'll look at the sculpts and the paint first, and then we'll go through and look at the articulation. And this right here, man, this Han has me pretty giddy. This Harrison Ford likeness is incredible in my opinion. This is the best one that we have in the line yet, and it's just so nice to see them finally get Harrison Ford's face right for the most part. Here has like a nice dark brown with like a light brown wash all over it. Looks freaking great, man. Looks just like Han in 77. Got that kind of poofy Farrah Fawcett vibe hair. And just the sculpt on this thing, man, looks... Oh, just look at that, dude. That's great. This thing looks fantastic. Again, just super clean paint. We do have the stripe going down. Neither of these figures have thigh swivel, so it does look nice not breaking up the sculpt, but I prefer thigh swivel in my action figures. Hashtag bring back thigh swivel. Got the boots, glossy boots. Overlay belt. Again, just super clean paint all over this guy, man. Silver and black, the buckles, the little buttons right here. These little pieces. Very, very nice. And I like the blue pants as well. I like how blue they turned out. Because in the promo pics, they were like super, super blue, but like in person, it looks really nice. Much more like a navy. His typical vest. Typical, this is literally 77 Han, man, and it's so perfect. They really knocked this out of the park, and every time I look at this and I see the new Chewie and this new Han and the new Leia and the new R2, and I just see that new Farm Boy Luke, and I'm just so disappointed, man, because they just really dropped the ball in that Mark Hamill likeness, but luckily they nailed the Carrie Fisher likeness on the new Princess Leia, and this Harrison Ford likeness is also incredible. And now getting on into the articulation here. This is going to be really, really exciting, man. You can see here, Chewie can pretty much have his arms right down by his side, so that's pretty nice, man. There's a lot of a lighter brown, too, than the original, like the archive or the, I believe it was the orange line or the blue line, I believe. So nice full T position. The edges of his hair is a nice soft plastic, so you can kind of like get it up, get some more articulation out of that. 360-degree range at here. There is butterfly joints on this Chewbacca, and these deep cut elbows are just look absolutely fantastic. And look at that there. That is pretty sweet for a Chewbacca, man. Obviously, we've gotten Black Chrysanthemum and Kalnaka in the line, so we have some decent articulated Wookiee bodies. But for Chewbacca, man, this is just so freaking sweet, dude. And hopefully, we'll continue to get other versions of Chewbacca on this buck. I think they can really squeeze out a lot of cash with this new buck. And then also we do have elbow swivel. Getting down, we do have a cut here at the center of the abdomen, so a little bit of side to side, not a whole lot. Does have rotation, so that's pretty sweet. Again, all the edges of his hair is a very nice soft plastic, so he can kick up about that far. You do stress the plastic, you don't want to just do it all the time, but he can kick up about that far. Kickback, a lot of range of kickback. And again, just look at these deep cuts here in the knees. Look at that right there, dude. That is pretty freaking sweet for Chewbacca, dude. Swivel at the knee. Coming down to the feet. They can go down about that far. They can come up a little bit. Forward facing pin for a little bit of rocker motion. Obviously, the sculpt of the hair here is going to kind of inhibit how much range you can get out of that rocker. Just so you can see it kind of button up against the hair on the inside of here. But, man, it's just necessary. Chewbacca's a hairy, you know, he's a Wookiee. He's got to be hairy, man. That's just how it is. But the way, how you can see how malleable it is, it does allow for some range of movement. Let's see how so pretty decent. Not a full split, but not bad. Not bad at all. And then that kick forward and kick back is also just pretty sweet as well. And just, man, I'm so excited. And then I didn't even check the head. There's a little bit of side-to-side tail in the head. Not a whole lot. Just obviously all the hair, bandolier, gonna inhibit it a little bit. Can look back and forth though. You can kind of, it's like look at look at that, all that. You get a lot of side to side tilt right there. That range right there. I wonder what kind of, just a really big ball joint up under there, so you can get a lot of really crazy side to side. But obviously, I'm just kind of keep it centered. But man, it's so freaking sweet to have a new Chewbacca. I don't even think, because no thigh sole, but you do see it being on that dumbbell joint there for the hips. You get a little bit of range of motion, not a lot, but that's about as much as you're as much as you're going to get right here, man. But dude, this thing looks, it's just so freaking awesome to have a new Chewbacca, man. Obviously, the bandolier is an overlay, but this time, oh, I just noticed this. This time it's actually glued down, whereas all the other versions of Chewie, it's just a straight up overlay, but it seems to be glued down right about here. It's glued. It goes on to the back, and it's glued right about, so right about here on the cut for the abdomen is about where the glue, all this is fixed on. So that's pretty nice, man. Let's go to the bag. Looks great too. Nice malleable, soft malleable plastic. So lets him get his legs out and all that good stuff like that. But man, this figure looks great, dude. So we looked at Chewie. Let's look at this new Han, man, because this guy, I am just blown away. Again, no thigh swivel on this figure. Doesn't break up the sculpt. It is a clean look, I will say, but I prefer my thigh swivel personally. And just starting off, dude, we got some ball jointed wrists, which I really love to see. I would hope they would continue to implement this on further figures. I just feel like ball joints for the most part is the way to go. There is some tweaking that they have to do. Just, it doesn't stay exactly where you want it to, but I do think I prefer it over the hinges for the most part, But maybe they can just continue to keep working on the ball hinges, but I really do enjoy the ball hinge wrists, but we'll just see how it goes. Again, we'll just start up at the top of the head here. Get a little bit of side-to-side tilt. A little bit of attitude out of Han here. Head obviously spin 360 degrees. See, he can tuck his chin almost to his neck. He can look, can't really look up a whole lot. It's about as much of the range of motion you're going to get up and down. Trying to see, it is on a, looks like it's a double ball peg joint where there's a ball peg down here at the neck and the base of the skull. So the head and the neck actually move separately as individual pieces, which is pretty sweet. A little bit thing that I'm seeing now is the skin color of the face and the neck doesn't really match the chest. I don't know if y'all can see that on camera. Slightly different color. It doesn't look as bad on camera, but in person it's a little more noticeable. I don't know. It's not that bad. It's really not. It's like barely lighter, but it's really not even like literally I wouldn't even call it a nitpick. It's like a minor effect. He can kick out that far in front of him. He can kick back a little bit. Got some deep cuts in the knees here, so you can get below 90. Swivel at the knee. Feet go down about that far. Come up a pretty decent amount as well. Got forward facing pins, so you can get that side to side rocking motion. Split, pretty good, not bad at all. 360 degrees at the elbow, at the shoulder. Nice cut below 90 degrees at the elbow. Obviously, swivel at the elbow as well. And let's see, you got a ball joint here at the waist. I really prefer ball joints like in the abdomen. If they're going to do like cuts in the abdomen and the waist, I really like ball joints just because it just adds like a lot of natural human movement. So you can get a lot of nice side to side. A little bit of ab crunch forward, a little bit of back and forth. Not a whole lot, but, it's there. So not a whole lot. And then obviously swivel side to side. Arms, full T position, no problem at all. And yeah, man, this thing looks great. We do have the overlay vest, which looks really nice. It'd be cool to see them. Honestly, this is kind of like, I think it's slightly different pants. I forget the pants he's wearing in Return of the Jedi or Empire, but I think it might be the yellow. I think Empire, he's got the yellow stripes going down on the pants. But you literally take this vest off and just have the white shirt. We can have like a unfrozen out of fresh out of carbonite Han, or like a Jabba's skiff Han or something like that, But man, look at these two figures, dude. It is just such a rad feeling to have brand new versions of A New Hope representation for these characters, man. They look. It's just so nice to see them give the effort and detail to characters like this who are the reason that all of this, that Star Wars in general exists, man. Like, like the OT is just as pure Star Wars as you can get, man. I am so elated and thrilled to be seeing these figures in front of me, man, to like finally get them on the shelf eventually and like phase out some of my older figures. It's just going to be so freaking cool, man. And I almost looked over this. Look at this. Boot swivel. Let's go. That's pretty cool. And I really need to pick up the brand new Farm Boy Luke Skywalker because this does look a little off. What I want to do is get one of those and swap out the head that originally comes stock on it with this version, the X-Wing Luke, or maybe even the Yavin Ceremony Luke. So Who knows? But either way, this is such a freaking awesome shot. I am missing old Ben Kenobi. I have him, but he's tucked away. I have him on card, but obviously not opening that. And the one that I have not reviewed yet. That's probably what I would like to see next is an updated Ben Kenobi. That would be freaking epic, man. It would just be a great way to round out a solid 77 representation of the 77 crew, man. And this looks so freaking epic, dude. I love this so freaking much. Well, y'all, that is going to wrap it up for this review on the new 77 Star Wars A New Hope, Chewbacca and Han, man. I'm just so thrilled, so happy to freaking have the versions of these characters, man. Long overdue for updates, for Chewie let alone, but also Han. This likeness to Harrison Ford is by far, in my opinion, the best in the line. The paint on these guys is absolutely awesome. Sculpt is great, and the accessories are just, they're a little limited, but they come with what they need. You get Chewie's bowcaster, and you get Han's DLT 44. My apologies. This is just the definitive 77 Han and Chewie, man. They look absolutely phenomenal together. One of the most badass dynamic duos up there with Batman and Robin. Like, Han and Chewie, man. It's just, it's so freaking rad to see these figures in front of me and finally have them. Like, sitting here on my shelf, looking at the old Power of the Force and the Han and the Archive Chewie, I'm just like, wow, man. The line has come so far. So far, man. It's insane. With that being said, y'all, I'm going to wrap it up here before I continue yapping and make this review any longer than it needs to be. But I do appreciate you spending a few minutes with me while I yap about these two figures here. Highly recommend picking them up if you're an original trilogy fan. Call me an original trilogy shill. I just like this kind of stuff like this as day one pickups. I'm just absolutely infatuated with these figures. So, like I said, if you enjoyed this review, please hit that like button. If you're not already, please consider subscribing and checking out some of my other content. I hope you enjoyed that as well. And I hope you're having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. I'll see you next time. May the Force be with you.